Welcome to another episode of Piping Up. We're here at First Presbyterian Church. This is the 5th episode in our tour of Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. Next to me is John Vida. He is the organist at First Presbyterian. Thanks so much for having us today, John.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about the instrument that is behind us and the pipes that are behind us here.
Well, the instrument we know was put in at the beginning of the 20th century, and then later it was an Aeolian Skinner, but then later the Schlicker company came in and redid the whole thing and added to it. One of the interesting things about this instrument was it was pretty much, we were concerned of what kind of shape it would be after the 1972 flood, which devastated a lot of the area. The sanctuary here was underwater, but the pipes were high enough up that they didn't get affected. The windchests all had to be replaced, and the console had to be replaced. We know that this is a relatively new console.
So I guess in a sense, is this, now you weren't here when this was introduced, so no. This is your first, this is what you were dealt with when you came in.
I came here in the year 2000. I'll be here 25 years this January as a minister of music.
Okay. It's a long time.
Yeah.
But it's a good time.
It's a wonderful church to work in.
Yes. So what does the congregation think of the instrument, and I guess with you playing Sunday services?
Well, it's interesting. The congregation loves to hear the organ. They love to sing. Hymn singing is really an interesting aspect of this church. You wouldn't find people sitting listening. They all sing as full as they can. And when it's time for the prelude, the church gets very, very quiet. And when it's time for the postlude, which I find very interesting, everybody sits. No one leaves until the postlude is completely finished. And I can tell they really appreciate the music and what our ministry offers.
Yeah, and I think for you as the organist, I think you kind of feel happy about that, knowing that you have an audience that enjoys listening to music like that. Because
yes.
I think this day and age, people would rather not. They'd rather listen to something else instead, which is something that I think for this church, I think is something impressive. You don't see that too often. So.
I would agree. It's a wonderful congregation and very supportive of all of the music that goes on in the church.
Mm-hmm. What, for you, genres of music, what's your favorite types of genre? Do you have a favorite song that you like to play on a basis?
I know you were going to ask me that question, and I really struggle with that because I have so many areas of music that I'm involved in. I'm very much a choral musician at heart too, and I love the choir and the choral music that we put together, and the combination of the organ and the choir music is just really, I love that genre of music. And hymns. I love doing hymns and all the variations of hymns and the chorale preludes that I often select that will complement the opening or the closing hymns.
Mm-hmm. And I guess for you, I guess you like to accompany with a pianist or sometimes another instrument sometimes. Is that something that you enjoy doing too?
Especially our brass ensemble. I love it when the brass come and play, and I have a dear friend who likes to play piano, and often we'll do piano organ duets, and she's always very happy to do that. But then also bringing some of my family, which are string members, string players, and they love to come in and do some things with the organ.
Is there a favorite combination of stops and voices that you like for the organ? When you're playing, do you have ones that you really like, ones that you try to stay away from, or is it just you just like to blend everything?
That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
I love being able to have the double swell sections of the instrument and having music that has a dialogue between the two swell divisions.
So I guess that kind of makes it a little interesting as well and fun. And you had mentioned about the whole double swell thing, because you said that they could have possibly added a little bit more to this. They could have added another, division if they wanted to.
Right.
But
It's set up so that you can play the swell. They're all connected on one manual, but you can also couplet them so you can have them played on two different manuals, which is kind of fun. So you can really have a nice articulation between the two divisions.
Mm-hmm. I think, and also for this organ, I think it's kind of somewhat well known that it has a really big 32 stop.
32-foot, bombard that is it's really strong, and it sounds like a shotgun going off sometimes. When you kick that in at the very end, sometimes it really resonates beautifully in the church.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's go take a look inside the organ and see some of the wonderful pipes that make music in this church. Right, we're inside the pipe chamber now. We have the large 32s behind us, and that's the one that I guess will shake the building notoriously.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So a little bit of the history for you. What got you started in the music ministry, and then I guess led you to here?
Well, I started playing the pipe organ at church when I was a really young boy, and up in Danielson, Connecticut, actually a long ways away from here. And I found playing the pipe organ just a lot of fun and really quite different. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Westminster Choir College in Princeton, New Jersey, and did 4 years there, and got very interested in harpsichord as well as singing and playing the organ, and had a number of different positions. Moved to Wyoming Valley to work at a school called Wyoming Seminary, and I was there for 48 years. Saw the installation of a beautiful Austin pipe organ in the chapel. Went on and got my master's degree in music from Marywood University, and then went back and taught on the faculty at Marywood as well, and also have an honors degree from the Bayerische Music Academy in Magdeburg, Germany.
That's a little bit of a trip.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So what got you to here?
Well, when the organist retired from here, they called me and asked me if I would apply for the position. And at that point, I was still in Germany. And I said, well, I won't be coming back till January. And they said, we're going to hold the position and we want you to have it. And so I have been here since January 2000.
So they must have seen some type of profile about you, and then
I played the organ in a number of different churches in the area and known for my music making. And it's been such a wonderful place to be all these years.
I mean, obviously they haven't kicked you out yet, so
No,
they must
haven't.
love you in some way. All right. So this would be the main blower. And then I would assume this feeds up to the swell, up to the top, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. This takes main. It's interesting that the blower is inside of the chamber, because most of the time we find blowers outside of the chamber. And usually it's somewhere down in the very bottom of the church and almost not even seeable half the time.
And that's because of the flood.
Right. So this was relocated, I assume.
Yes.
Gotcha. That would make sense. And I guess at the same time, it makes it more accessible to get to if there needs to be maintenance for it. And it's a good spot for it too. Okay, we are in the swell chamber, the first one. This is mentioned on the tremolo motor at the top there. You can see it says swell 1. And we have good selection of pipes in here. We have a mixture of principal and war flutes, which line across the way and across the side wall. We have chimes behind me, and selection of mixture in the front. Bunch of goodies in here that can be played. And you said that the chimes are played on a regular basis here, correct? Yeah.
I usually at the end of the service.
Mm-hmm. Which is a popular time for that.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. All right, so we are at the very, very top, or almost at the very top. You can look out a little bit. You can see some of the sanctuary that would be on curtains here. It's a really, really big area, and we have a lot more of mixture and principal here. This is more or less a continuation of what was below. Behind us we have several pedal pipes, and also well behind up towards the very top, you can see the rest of the 32 stop, and the very top one is very, very lightly mitered, just to fit the entire thing into this space. It might not have fit, so it looks like they mitered it just ever so slightly to